What up, Twitch family? That battery is so about to die, Twitch. So about to die. Hold on. I need some talking points. Yeah. Let me get my life together. What up, Twitch? Look at these folks on this live here. Another good one. At least I be thinking they're good. Child, what do I know, right? What does DT pocket know? Oh, I know this hair is a mess, child. What is going on? There we go. I got the what they call that? The whatever hair. Headphones hair, cause this hair is all over the place. But welcome. Waiting for these folks to hop on in, and then we'll get into today's topic. Hey, dark skin honey, how are you? We got a good one. You're my first contestant, so welcome. I usually do this chat every day about 12:30. About this time, I'm running late like usual. We got a good one today. Good one today. So if you want to stick around, dark skin honey, you can, or if you want to pop back in, because they'll be on here, trust and believe. Just got to give them some time to get on in here, but they'll be in here. So they just slow at it, but it's all good. Because like I said, I was late, so they probably like, she ain't coming on. I'm doing fabulous, you know. I cannot complain, because ain't no point in complaining, because don't nobody listen anyway. Hey, RB. You guys are like my first contestants. I feel like the Price is Right. I wish we were on the Price is right now, chill, because I could use some coins right about now. But let's get into it. The other people that can catch up. So a woman gives her story of the worst date ever, says it was a 0 to 10 experience. But that ain't the part what I'm talking about today. The fact is that this woman went on a date with a guy, and she went to the bathroom. Hey, mama. She went to the bathroom, and when she came back from the bathroom, the guy was gone. But, I mean, he didn't do like a baby Barack and just exited stage left. He paid for the meal and then left. So, I don't know. But take a listen to her story on her date.
I've officially seen it all. My first 0 out of 10 date. This man left me at the restaurant while I was in the bathroom. I think I'm going to hang it up for a while. Yep. I don't have anything left to give. But if I'm honest, I never should have gone on the date in the first place.
Posted.
Everything was telling me not to. Everything. The signs were there, but I was like, I'll give him a chance. Nope. Follow your gut. Everything was going fine. This guy and I had been talking for like 3 or 4 days. He asked me out to dinner for this weekend, today. Chose a cute little Cuban spot, made the plans, we figured out the time, all that jazz. He doesn't live here in Charlotte. It was about an hour and a half outside of Charlotte, so he drove in and got a hotel for the night. Where the problem started is he texted me this.
Hold on. So I'm going to try to read because this print is so small. What he texted her. Said, do you feel like you'll be comfortable enough to stay at the hotel with me, or are you going to make your curfew? LOL. Are you going home? That's what he asked her, right? That's what he texted her.
I read that and I was like, oh, absolutely not. So I responded with this.
All right. Hold on. So she said, I don't do sleepovers this early. I'm not sure if that's what you're looking for, like more of a hookup situation, but that's not me. So that's what she texted him back, right? All right.
And ever since that point, the vibes just turned in our conversation. But it was the day of the date, within like a few hours of it. So I had the decision to make of like, do I cancel this because it's kind of going left, or do I just go? He was apologetic because I guess he felt like I misunderstood what he was saying, but I personally feel like I knew exactly what he was saying. He thought this was going to be something that it wasn't. So he shows up, Hollister hoodie, jeans, no reservation, barely speaks on the date. It's so awkward. I'm so uncomfortable for the entire thing. I just order my food, quickly get it eat a little bit of it, put
Oh,
it in a
looks
to-go
good.
box. We barely speak for the majority of the dinner. Barely. We just watch the live music. Then I decide to go to the bathroom, and when I come back, I'm going to ask him if he's ready to go. By the time I go and
Here's the
come
part.
back, I'm in the bathroom for maybe 2 minutes. I come back, he's gone. Vanished. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Granted, the date was over. He had already paid for the check. But I just think this is like, it's really something. Like, he could not even say, like, hey, I think I'm going to call it a night. Thanks so much for your time. Not even that. Because I called him on his bullshit. I called him on his bullshit. And he had a bad attitude.
Oh, child. This is saucy today. So mama said I wouldn't care. He paid for the date. That's why I'm like, girl, he paid for the meal because he did not even pay for your meal. He could have just left and left you with the check. So at least he paid for the meal. Mama said he wasn't interested. It happens. But in the middle of a date, though, like you waited till she went to use the restroom to leave. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is with grown folks just having grown conversations and communicating. Why couldn't he have said, look, I'm not interested. You know what I'm saying? You clearly ain't. If they weren't speaking, hey, Malcolm. Malcolm said, what a jerk. They weren't even speaking throughout the date. Why not just say, you know what? This ain't going nowhere. I think you should go your way. I'll go my way. I mean, what is so complicated about that? People do not like to communicate. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, he was a jerk. Mama said he's a coward. Dark Skin Honey said he definitely could have waited till she came back from. I mean, I'm just saying. You could have at least gave her the common courtesy because she clearly wasn't interested either and she was just trying to thug it out. You know what I'm saying? Because you turned her off when you said, hey, you know, she understood you was from out of town, but you turned her off when you said, hey, you coming back to my hotel room? Baby, this ain't no, like, I used to cut off men that used to think, oh, yeah, no. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me do this break. On the way for you at the top of the hour, I got your chance to check out Four Legends One Stage this weekend at Legacy Arena. Make sure you got a lock right here. It's 98.7 Kiss, the best R&B. Let me turn this down. Mama said he didn't want confrontation, like most men. If you know anything about men, most men don't like confrontation. They don't like it. But I get it. I feel like, or maybe I don't want to speak for them, that it would have been any confrontation on maybe her end because she clearly lost interest once this man said, hey, are you coming back to the hotel room with me? Guys, men, don't ever do that, okay? Especially on the first. Let the woman, you know what I'm saying? There will be signs, okay, fellas? There will be signs. You will know if that woman is ready to lay down with you, okay? Because she gonna give you all the signs. Dark Skin Honey said he just wanted some booty anyway. It sounded like to me. Dark Skin Honey, he done flew in to get some booty. You flying in to go get the booty? You couldn't go. Yeah, it sounded like that to me. He probably had next woman on standby. I'm sure he might have had the next woman, but I just think it's kind of disrespectful. You know, you could have at least waited till she came back from the restroom to be like, you know, it was a, you know, thank you, goody, whatever. Thank you, you know, appreciate your time. Maybe I'll see you again, maybe I won't, and kept it moving. I mean, you know, clearly because she wasn't interested. And she said the vibes were weird after, you know, he asked her to come to the hotel room. And then she stated, like, yeah, I don't get down like that on the first, you know, so early in the game, you know, if that's what you're looking for. But then he tried to, you know, keep it cute and it didn't work. You know, by then, I'm with her. See, I probably wouldn't have even went on this date. I'm going to be honest with you. Because in the back of my mind, I'm already knowing exactly what it is that you are on. You just want some, because you asking me if I'm going back with you. We ain't even had, I mean, even though they converse over the phone, but we ain't even had like a face-to-face conversation. You don't even know if you for real like me in real life. It's one thing to talk to somebody over the phone. It's another thing to actually meet them in person and then see if you guys vibe, because you can vibe all day with somebody on the phone, but when you get with them, you know what I'm saying, and you're there physically with them, are you vibing with them? So I don't know. That's me. I go off vibes and chemistry. Mama said men don't care. Probably immature. I don't know how old this man was, but it was definitely a very immature act. Something baby Barack would have done. I wish he was on here because he would have said, I would have did the same thing. Baby Barack, he'll probably join shortly, but yeah, he probably would have said, I would have did the same, the same thing. I would have, exit stage left, you know, she should have probably beat him to the punch. Maybe she should have canceled, but I can't say he's all the way a jerk, Mr. Awesome, because he paid for the meal, because he didn't have to pay for the meal, he could have just exited stage left and walked right up out that door and left her with the check, so he's not all the way a jerk. At least he do got somewhat of some home training. I'm a dark skinned honey said maybe if he would have made it through the first, maybe the second date, then I would have probably gave it up, all depending on the vibe we had. Exactly. It all depends on the vibe, the chemistry, but you don't just automatically start off the gate talking about, hey, at the day you sliding through, right? You coming to the hotel room. I don't care, sir, because you paid for a hotel room. You came from out of town. I don't understand why folks feel like they are entitled, that's the word I'm looking for, entitled to anything when they do something. I don't want to say that word because you did it because you wanted to, because that sounds very ungrateful. But, sir, I'm sure she didn't hold a gun to your head and say, hey, I want you to come so we could go on this date and get a hotel room. She didn't make you do any of that. You did that because you wanted to, or because you thought you were going to get a pizza and it didn't work out in your favor. But hey, Baby Rock, I was just talking about you. Baby Barack. And Baby Rock, I have to apologize because I know I was supposed to come through over the weekend, but the weekend was crazy. So I apologize to you, my brother. Tizzle, y'all are just in time. Okay, so a woman went on a date with a guy. They basically were almost about to finish up the date, but the guy, once she went to the restroom, he left. He paid for the check, but he left before even saying anything to her. I'm going to play back the audio so you guys can hear what this woman is saying, and then I would like your thoughts. Baby Rock, I kind of feel like I already know where you're going because we've had this conversation before, but take a listen. Hold on.
I've officially seen it all.
What up,
my first 0 out of 10 date. This man left me at the restaurant while I was in the bathroom.
Did you hear that? He left her at the restaurant.
Hang it up for a while.
While she was in the bathroom.
I think I'm gonna hang it up. Yep. I don't have anything left to give. But if I'm honest, I never should have gone on the date in the first place. Everything was telling me.
All right, so I just want to give you a breakdown of this woman's history, not to take anything away from her. She's the same age as Didi. She's 43. She's an analyst. Hey, the only CEDT. She's an analyst. She's black. And she met this guy on Bumble. Oh, Lord. Yeah, the dating websites.
Everything.
Here we go.
The signs were there, but I was like, I'll give him a chance. Nope. Follow your guts. Follow your guts. Everything was going fine. This guy and I had been talking for like 3 or 4 days. He asked me out to dinner for this weekend, today. Chose a cute little Cuban spot. Made the plans. We figured out the time. All that jazz. He doesn't live here in Charlotte. It was about an hour and a half outside of Charlotte, so he drove in and got a hotel for the night. Where the problem started is he texted me this.
All right, so this is what he texted her, right? He said, do you feel like you'll be comfortable enough to stay at the hotel with me, or are you going to make curfew, LOL, and go home? That's what he texted her, okay?
I read that and I was like, oh, absolutely not. So I responded with this.
All right, so I'm going to read what she said. She said, I don't do sleepovers this early. I'm not sure if that's what you're looking for. Like more of a hookup situation, but that's not me. So she explained that that's not her. Yeah, Tizzle, that's what
And
it sounds
ever
like
since
what
that
happened.
point, the
So
vibes just turned in our
her
conversation.
nails are
But it
cute
was the
though.
day of the date, within like a few hours of it. So I had the decision to make of like, do I cancel this because it's kind of going left, or do I just go?
What up,
He
DJ?
was
Do it.
apologetic because I guess he felt like I misunderstood what he was saying, but I personally feel like I knew exactly what he was saying. He thought this was going to be something that it wasn't. So he shows up, Hollister hoodie,
I know it's
jeans,
long. I apologize.
no reservation, barely speaks on the date. It's so awkward. I'm so uncomfortable for the entire thing. I just order my food, quickly eat a little bit of it, put it in a to-go box. We barely speak for the majority of the dinner. Barely. We just watch the live music. Then I decide to go to the bathroom, and when I come back, I'm going to ask him if he's ready to go. By the time I go and come back, I'm in the bathroom for maybe 2 minutes. I come back, he's gone. Vanished. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found.
I just think that part is messed up because I understand if you're not interested, but you can say you're not interested. We're all grown. Mama said she dodged a bullet. Dark skinned Honey said, I wonder if they rode together. Yeah, no, I don't think they did, which is a good thing. She was smart on that. Tizzle said that means there was something he hated about her. Back in the day, I would roll out on a broad in a heartbeat. Jesus, Tizzle, no! Oh, thank you. Thank you. He did. He enjoyed his day. Baby Barack. I'm still tired. Tizzle said, oh, he wasn't getting no, so he left. I think that's what was going on. And Baby Barack said, what up, Tizzle? Baby Barack said, he did right. I knew where you was going with it, Baby Barack. I knew it. He said, what up, Donnie Booney, I'm sorry. He said he did right and wrong because he paid the tab. I would have left her on stuck like she did his. Mama said he may not have been attracted to her, didn't think she was worth the effort. It could be that too. Maybe he wasn't attracted to her, or maybe because he realized, okay, you ain't that cute, and I ain't getting no butt, girl. Bad. I'm about to leave you right here in the restroom. I just think again, he could have handled this situation a lot differently, as opposed to you. He walked out when she went to the restroom. Dang, at least you could have, you know what I'm saying? Been, gangster. Listen, this clearly, I mean, it wasn't really even talking throughout the date. This ain't working. You seem like a nice person. You seem sweet. We could keep it cute. We could be friends, yada, yada. But yeah, I'm going to go my way. You go your way. It's okay to say when things don't work out. Why do we always make it into a thing when it doesn't work out? So I say he's wrong for that part. But sis, he did pay. At least he paid because he could have been trifling. Sorry, baby Brock, I ain't calling you trifling, but what I is saying is he could have just walked out and not paid for the meal, but he paid for the meal and then left. Jesus. And then I think she said the waitresses were saying to her, like, oh my, like, oh, it's okay. Like, I'm like, get out my face. Get out my face. That's what I would have did. Yeah. I would have been like, get out my face. But yeah, Mama said he could have not paid. Then what? Take your meal and take your what, Mama, and go home. I'm not sure what you're trying to say, Mama. Retype that again. Baby Rock said he did the best way for the full disaffect. He did it the best way for the full disaffect. Waiting until she was in the bathroom was classic. Oh, I knew you was gonna like that. I knew you was gonna like that, Baby Barack. Yeah. You wait until somebody is in the restroom to ghost them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just, and then, like I said, he did pay for the meal. I'm like Mama said, she got a free meal. She got a free meal from the situation. Regardless of the situation, she did get a free meal. But I get it. It sucks to be ghost, but like Mama said, she dodged a bullet because what if you did go home with him? You know what I'm saying? What if you did go home and then you don't hear, you did what you did and then now you don't even hear from him? So, I mean, this thing could have went left. Baby Rock said he should have did it on Instagram Live. You know You know what? I am not fooling with you today, baby bird. You should have said he should have went Instagram live with it. Uh-uh. Again, the part I don't agree with was him waiting until she went to the restroom. I think he could have handled it a lot differently, but folks do what they do, you know. Um, he just left her, but girl, you met this man on Bumble. What did you think he wanted? Okay. Not a stroll in the park. What up, Pat? Most of them, like my mama said, most of them folks that be on those dating websites are usually looking for one thing and one thing alone, which is sex. Before I met boyfriend, I was going through a little dating drought because I was living, well, I won't make no excuses, but I was living in Atlanta and I was going through a little dating drought, you know. So I think I signed up for one of them websites, met some characters, but, and it was true what mama said. Out the gate, I had one talk about pull up to the crib. I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. I don't even know who you are. I'm not pulling up to your house. He said, oh, and this is around the finals time too. He was like, oh, the finals is on. We could watch it. I said, we could go to the bar and watch the finals. I'm not coming to your house. And this was Tinder, too. Tinder is the number one, I guess, hookup site, yeah. I had quite a few offers to come through to the crib, and I ain't trying to brag because that ain't nothing to brag about. But yeah, it is definitely a hookup site. And I guess folks do be hooking up on them sites, but not me. What up, Pat? Mama said, what if he stayed and was persistent? Then she would have been annoyed. I mean, she would have, but she said he wasn't even talking. They were just really listening to the live music. Um, I would have waited to go to the bathroom or use the bathroom when I went home. But I guess she didn't know that he was gonna just, you know, leave like he did. Baby Barack said he did it for the disaffect, and obviously it worked. She should feel lucky because after all, he did pay for dinner. I mean, say what you want. He did pay for dinner now. Maybe he didn't go about it the best way, but he did pay for your dinner, sis. He could have been a real jerk and not paid for your meal. And then you would be on here complaining about something different. Like, I went out with this guy and he took me out and then waited till I went to the restroom and then he didn't pay for the check. So, Pat, I know I got some new folks on here. I got 34 seconds. I'm waiting for this break to come up. And then I'll tell you guys, for the new folks, what we are talking about today, chill. Because this thing is a mess. It's definitely some pee in this dating pool, chill. Ha! Pee in the dating pool. I'm glad I don't have these problems no more. I really am. Mama said hold on. Let me do this break. All right, if you want to check out Shaka, Patty, Gladys, Stephanie Mills this weekend, text that keyword Queens, that's QUEENS to 205-741-0987, because where them things at? It's 98.7 Kiss. All right. Mama said she should have exit left instead of going to the. She should have. So she missed her window of opportunity to. But maybe she seemed like she was trying to be nice and just get through the date. It seemed like they both were just trying to get through the date. But if I have any new folks, I'm talking about a guy that ghosted his date when she went to the restroom, if that makes sense, and I'll have her tell the story. But take a listen.
I've seen it all. My first 0 out of 10 date. This man left me at the restaurant while I was in the bathroom. I think I'm going to hang it up for a while. Yep. I don't have anything left to give. But if I'm honest, I never should have gone on the date in the first place. Everything was telling me not to. Everything. The signs were there, but I was like, I'll give him a chance.
The signs is always though.
Follow your gut. Everything was going fine. This guy and I had been talking for like 3 or 4 days. He asked me out to dinner for this weekend, today. Chose a cute little Cuban spot, made the plans, we figured out the time, all that jazz. He doesn't live here in Charlotte. It was about an hour and a half outside of Charlotte, so he drove in and got a hotel for the night. Where the problem started is he texted me this.
Okay, so I'm going to read her text message from the guy. And he says, do you feel like you'll be comfortable enough to stay at the hotel with me? Or are you going to make curfew, LOL, and go home? So that's what he texted her, right?
I read that and I was like, oh, absolutely.
So somebody said that they would have canceled the date. I would have too. I probably wouldn't have went like out with this guy, knowing okay, you already
Absolutely
asking me for
not.
booty, so I know what you want.
So I responded with this.
So she responded and said, "Oh, I don't do sleepovers this early on. I'm not sure if that's what you're looking for, like more of a hookup situation, but that's not me." Um, Again, when you do these dating sites, you got to put your intentions out there from the beginning. So we'll get into it. Let's finish this.
And ever since that point, the vibes just turned in our conversation. But it was the day of the date within like a few hours of it. So I had the decision to make of like, do I cancel this because it's kind of going left, or do I just go? He was apologetic because I guess he felt like I misunderstood what he was saying, but I personally feel like I knew exactly what he was saying. He thought this was going to be something that it wasn't.
A hookup.
So he shows up, Hollister hoodie, jeans, no reservation, barely speaks on the date. It's so awkward. I'm so uncomfortable for the entire thing. I just order my food, quickly eat a little bit of it, put it in a to-go box. We barely speak for the majority of the dinner. Barely. We just watch the live music. Then I decide to go to the bathroom, and when I come back, I'm going to ask him if he's ready to go. By the time I go and come back, I'm in the bathroom for maybe 2 minutes. I come back, he's gone. Vanished. Nowhere to be found.
I'm going to play this to the end.
Nowhere to be found. Granted, the date was over. He had already paid for the check. But I just think this is like, it's really something. Like, he could not even say, like, hey, I think I'm going to call it a night. Thanks so much for your time. Not even that. Because I called him on his bullshit. I called him on his bullshit. And he had a bad attitude. Men. Oh, and the most embarrassing part wasn't even this guy leaving. It was the walk of shame out of the restaurant with the waitresses saying, Lo siento.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry. Not the waitress. Lo siento. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. That's not funny. That's not funny. Damn, not the walk of shame. And the waitresses, not the little, my brown brothers and sisters talk about Lo siento. I know what that means. Mama, baby Brock said she got a free meal and didn't have to run the draws. Oh God. DJ do would say, yeah, me too, DD. I'm just listening to these horror stories at this point. Yeah, it is terrible out here. Mama said at baby Barack, she told him he didn't have to show up after she told him no means no. Pat said he wanted to make them cheeks clap. That's all. He got mad. That's what. Happy. Mama said she said early, so maybe he thought he could change her mind. Yeah, no, there was no changing. Usually, well, she seems like she's my age. She's 43. And usually, when we got our mind made up, and I can't speak for her, but me, usually when my mind is made up about something, it ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? I would have never went out with this guy. I'm gonna be honest. Had he texted me that from the very beginning before we even stepped like foot in a restaurant, a building, anywhere, you haven't really even seen me in the flesh. You don't even know if I'm really catfishing you for real. Yeah, I wouldn't have went on this date because I would have known exactly what it was. Or I would have been like, you know what? We don't got to get dinner. Let's go get drinks. Drinks on you. Back in my day, I would have did that. Yeah. Mama said she didn't call him on his BS because she showed up. Well, you're right. Because her saying, this ain't no hookup, ain't really calling him out. So I get what you're saying. Babe Brock said, Mama, she was just thirsty for the free meal because she knew his intentions up front. So she should have canceled and fed herself. So if you remember the first part of the video, she did say, always trust your gut. Always trust your gut. So I think she went against the grain in her gut feeling, hoping that, okay, because she said she had been talking to this guy 3 or 4 days, which is not a long time to be talking to somebody. So she had been talking to the guy for 3 or 4 days, before they set all this stuff up. What it was he drove an hour out of town, got the hotelly, thinking, oh, this gonna be an easy lay. All I gotta do is feed her, and then we can come back here, and get it popping. And I'm gonna go back to wherever I came from, an hour away. You know what I'm saying? That's what he thought it was gonna be an easy lay, because he met her on Bumble. You know, so he thought he was in there, and she was like, play, I don't even get down like that. Anytime I met any of those guys, it was okay. So what's the plan? What's the move? Because yeah, I'm guilty. I have definitely talked to people on dating websites. I told you I had a whole dating drought when I was in the ATL before I met boyfriend. I turned to, because I wasn't going out as much, so I did turn to like the little dating websites, because I'm like, I'm not meeting anybody that I actually really like or of any caliber. So let me see what these are hitting on. I tried Tinder. I immediately got off Tinder. I was like, I cannot do Tinder. Tinder is definitely a hookup site. If you looking to get laid or have sex with just random, Tinder is your site, child. I had men talk about pull up, dude. I was like, I'm not doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? But I think, if you establish in the beginning what it is, like, look, because I would ask the question, okay, what is it you're looking for? If are you looking for somebody to hook up with? Are you looking for a relationship? That's what I always ask before we even started a conversation, because I'm not even sitting wasting my time having a conversation with you, and all you want is the pum pum. So now, Baby Rock said she did trust her gut. It told her to feed me, and that's what she did. Cold-blooded. Mama said, I agree with Baby Rock. She wanted a free meal. I don't know. Okay, so y'all think she wanted a free meal. Hey, Garvin, I don't know. I won't say she wanted a free meal. I think she genuinely thought, okay, after me saying this, like, okay, maybe, but 3 or 4 days, that ain't even long enough for you to know the person. Baby Rock said, facts, mama. I hope that taco was worth the bus ride home. Or the walk of shame, she said. All right, I got some new folks on here. A man ghosts a woman once she goes to the restroom. They went on a date. She went to the restroom. He ghosted her, to make a long story short. But what are your thoughts? I'm going to play the clip again. I know it's long. I will not play it to the end. But here we go.
It all. My first 0 out of 10 date. This man left me
She met him on Bumble
while I was in the bathroom.
They left her in the restaurant while she was in the bathroom.
Yep. I don't have anything left to give. But if I'm honest, I never should have gone on the date in the first place. Everything was telling me not to. Everything. The signs were there, but I was like, I'll give him a chance. Nope. Follow your gut. Follow your gut. Everything was going fine. This guy and I had been talking for like 3 or 4 days. He asked me out to dinner for this weekend, today. Chose a cute little Cuban spot, made the plans, we figured out the time, all that jazz. He doesn't live here in Charlotte. It was about an hour and a half outside of Charlotte, so he drove in and got a hotel for the night. Where the problem started is he texted me this.
Okay, so for the new folks, this is what the man texts. Do you feel like you'll be comfortable enough to stay at the hotel with me, or are you going to make your curfew, LOL, and go home? Continue.
I read that and I was like, oh, absolutely not. So I responded with this.
She said, I don't do sleepovers this early. I'm not sure if that's what you're looking for, like more of a hookup situation, but that's not me. I won't say she checked him on the BS, but she let him know, like, that's not what I'm on, If that's what you're on, then let me know now. He didn't say it. So here we go. We're going to finish.
And ever since that point, the vibes just turned in our conversation. But it was the day of the date, within like a few hours of it. So I had the decision to make of like, do I cancel this because it's kind of going left, or do I just go? He was apologetic because I guess he felt like I misunderstood what he was saying, but I personally feel like I knew exactly what he was
saying. Decision.
He thought this was going to be something that it wasn't. So he shows up, Hollister hoodie, jeans, no reservation, barely speaks on the date. It's so awkward. I'm so uncomfortable for the entire thing. I just order my food, quickly eat a little bit of it, put it in a to-go box. We barely speak for the majority of the dinner. Barely. We just watch the live music. Then I decide to go to the bathroom, and when I come back, I'm going to ask him if he's ready to go. By the time I go and come back, I'm in the bathroom for maybe 2 minutes. I come back, he's gone.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
Nowhere to be
Because
found.
that's not funny. I mean, it's not funny, but jeez. She said she had to do the walk of shame down the hallway. My brown brothers and sisters said, Lo siento, I'm sorry, mommy. That is quite embarrassing, though. That is embarrassing. I don't know what I would do if somebody ever did that to me. That is quite embarrassing. But hey, Classic C Gems, happy Tuesday to you. But yeah, child. Um, thoughts. Thank you guys for the ones that have been responding. She should have never went. She should have trusted that gut. She should have never went on the date. When. See, I would like to know. I would like to know how he responded after she said what she said about. Yeah, I'm not that type of girl. That's what I want to know. How he responded. DJ DeWitt said, yeah, Buddy had interior motives, yeah. Mama said, so what was he supposed to wear to a Cuban spot? She sounds judgmental. Might be why he got up and left. I'm just saying, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Baby Barack said, it's not funny, Dee Dee. It's hilarious. Baby Barack. You ain't check. Hefe said, I'm confused. LOL. So obviously he didn't feel she was desirable. So pay for your food and take your L. Hope she learned from this. No, he actually, Hefe, the plot twist is he paid for the meal. He paid. He just left her. He paid and then left her, if that makes sense. So he paid for the meal and then left her. So he ghosted her after he paid for the meal. He good. Because I don't know if I would have even did all that. You would have got ghosted and paid for your own damn meal. I might have paid for my half, but I ain't paying for your meal. So I can't say he's a full-blown jerk, but he is somewhat of a jerk. Because, sir, why couldn't you have just communicated that and said, listen, there ain't no chemistry. You know what I'm saying? It was real. Why do people have a problem communicating? Pat said, mama, right. DJ Dewitt said he was like, damn, that's how he he was like, damn, that's how he responded. Yeah. This guy said, yeah, nah, we good. It really, like, what was it? I think it was you, DJ DeWitt, and everybody else. It sounds like to me he had an ulterior motive. Like she said, he came an hour out, booked the hotel room again, and she met him on Bumble. Okay, not too familiar with Bumble, but I have done a couple of dating sites, one including Tinder. Got off that immediately because I was like, wait a minute, these men are inviting me to their homes. How you know I could set your I'm like, you don't know what type of female I am. I could set you up and you just okay with me coming to your home? Like, make it make sense. So I had to get up off Tinder, but my mom warned me. She was like, just know, you do these dating sites, some of them treat them as hookups, and Tinder was definitely. So I came up off of there. Mama said, he probably said, this raggedy heifer has the nerve to say no. So what I'm going to do is, once I do this break, I'm going to turn this camera around so you can see what she looks like, because these people are going, I'm looking at the comments, these people are going in on her wig. They said that wig hanging like that threw him off, probably, sis. Somebody said, first of all, the wig ages you. Thought you were 50 from the still images. 2, if he asks you to stay the night and he's from out of town, you already know what's up. I mean, for real. Baby Rock said, I think the fact that he paid and bounce hit harder, and that's why she heard straight diss. I mean, I don't know too many men that would have paid that bill. So I say she got a deal. I mean, you got a free meal, sis. Hey, Brown Scam. DJ Drew would say he drove all that way, got a hotel room, and when she said he wasn't getting none, he was disappointed. Yeah, he left her at the restaurant. Pat said DJ Dewitt, he was big mad. But this is the thing I have a problem with. Why? Because he did all of that. Okay, you drove. You got a hotel room. Why do you feel like you entitled to the poom poom? Because you did all that. You know what I'm saying? You doing that does not entitle you to the poom poom. When I say you're entitled to the poom poom is when you get the poom poom, not when you think you're supposed to get the poom poom. I'm just saying, fellas, why do y'all feel like a sense of entitlement when y'all do stuff like that? That don't entitle to you no poom poom because you got a hotel room. I didn't ask you to do that. That's what ungrateful folks say. I didn't ask you to do that. Ungrateful people say, I didn't ask you to do that. You did that because you wanted to do that. That's what the line she should. I didn't ask you to do that. You did that because you wanted to do that. But yeah, Hefe said because women are for sale. Hefe, you are welcome to join this chat, boo. Come on, let us see your face today. On period, Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour debuts with a gross revenue of $55 million for the first 5 dates. Sets record for the biggest single venue engagement for a woman in history. Kudos to her. It's 98.7 Kiss. Yeah, Hefe, you are more than welcome to join. Don't make me invite you, Hefe. But if you're busy, I understand. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this back on here because I want y'all to see what this woman looked like. And then Twitch, I'm going to try to get y'all on here too. Hefe, what did you say? Because women are for sale. Mama said at least he was a gentleman and paid the bill. DJ Do would say he paid for a hotel room, paid for gas to travel, paid for the meal, and he didn't get none. Big L for homeboy, not her. I would say she the real MVP. I mean, I'm just saying. All right, so let me turn this around. And like I said, Hefe, you are more than welcome always to join the chat if you would like to. I want y'all to I'm going to turn it around for y'all, Twitch too. I wish I could make this bigger, but I can't. I don't need this whole conversation.
My first 0 out of 10 date. This man left me at the restaurant while I was in the bathroom. I think I'm going to hang it up for a while. Yep. I don't have anything left to give. But if I'm honest, I never should have gone on the date in the first place. Everything was telling me not to. Everything. The signs were there, but I was like, I'll give him a chance. Nope. Follow your gut. Everything was going fine. This guy and I had been talking for like 3 or 4 days. He asked me out to dinner for this weekend, today. Chose a cute little Cuban spot, made the plans, we figured out the time, all that jazz. He doesn't live here in Charlotte. It was about an hour and a half outside of Charlotte, so he drove in and got a hotel for the night. Where the problem started is he texted me this.
All right, so I'm going to stop it for the new folks who weren't on here just to read the text message. And it says, do you feel like you'll be comfortable enough to stay at the hotel with me, or are you going to make your curfew, LOL, and go home? So that's what he said, right? So here we go.
I read that and I was like, oh, absolutely not. So I responded with this.
All right, so sorry, Twitch. This is what she responded and said, oh, yeah, I don't do sleepovers this early. I'm not sure if that's what you're looking for, like a more of a hookup situation, but that's not what I'm on. All right, so let's finish this, right?
Ever since that point, the vibes just turned in our conversation. But it was the day of the date, within like a few hours of it. So I had the decision to make of like, do I cancel this because it's kind of going left, or do I just go? He was apologetic because I guess he felt like I misunderstood what he was saying, but I personally feel like I knew exactly what he was saying. He thought this was going to be something that it wasn't. So he shows up, Hollister hoodie, jeans, no reservation, barely speaks on the date. It's so awkward. I'm so uncomfortable for the entire thing. I just order my food, quickly eat a little bit of it, put it in a to-go box. We barely speak for the majority of the dinner. Barely. We just watch the live music. Then I decide to go to the bathroom, and when I come back, I'm going to ask him if he's ready to go. By the time I go and come back, I'm in the bathroom for maybe 2 minutes. I come back, he's gone. Vanished. Nowhere to be found. Granted, the date was over. He had already paid for the check, But I just think this is like, it's really something. Like, he could not even say, like, hey, I think I'm going to call it a night. Thanks so much for your time. Not even that. Because I called him on his bullshit. I called him on his bullshit. And he had a bad attitude. Men. Oh, and the most embarrassing part wasn't even this guy leaving. It was the walk of shame out of the restaurant with the waitresses saying, Lo siento.
Oh, you know what that means, Hefe? They said Lo siento. You know what that means. I'm sorry, mommy. I'm sorry. Lo siento. See, Hefe, I know a little bit of Spanish too, Hefe. Oh God. Let me read these comments. Hefe, I know a little bit of Spanish too. I know what Lo siento means. Ah, I know what that means, yeah. They did her wrong. Um, Hold on. So DJ Dewitt said, not her. Mama said, Fa. Maybe the women you deal with are, and you said most definitely the women I deal with. I don't know what you and Mama talking about. DJ Dewitt said she looks straight, and you said Shorty is trash. The wig is terrible. Mama said, how old is she? 43. She's an analyst, and she met the man on Bumble. Pat said she needed to take that wig off. Mama said that picture, that video, she looks better. Yeah, she looks better in the video, but that picture was terrible. But maybe she was trying to make a point. And then Baby Brock said she made out like a fat rat, just like the way her wig looks, because she drove herself. So she wasn't left on stuck. Hey, JB. All right, Hefe. I know you got. I saw your video yesterday. Very good questions too. We might have to talk about your topic yesterday.
Oh yeah. We have to go back and forth that one.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
what are your thoughts?
listen. I really think. I really think the nigga handled it well. I think she's an idiot. I just think that she doesn't have a lot of intelligence. This just amazes me when they when she talks like she's flaunting. Like I called him out on his BS. You did all of that and still went out on a date with him. It just makes me look at her like, well, are you? Well, if you called him out on his BS, why would you go out with him? You sound unintelligent. I'm confused. And you flexing yeah, I'm hip or I know what's going on, and then still went out. Damn, is it what you wanted some tacos that bad? You handled it like a gentleman. I would have probably did the same thing. Meaning, well, if I had the intentions of just trying to get some, and the girl made it clear that that's not what she was on, I would have never went out on a date.
Exactly.
If it was
Exactly.
like a regular date, you know what I mean, just getting to know somebody, I think he handled it well, and I would have did the same thing. I don't know if I'd have left.
Would you
I
have
don't know.
paid?
I'm not gonna say I'm above that. Yeah, I would have definitely paid.
Are you
I would
well?
have paid just because I'm just like that, you know. But I'm also okay with guys that are not like that. Meaning,
Oh,
like if they're just like,
I got
yeah,
one
man,
on
pay your
here.
half. Yeah, pay your half. I have a daughter. I'm never, ever, ever going to and teach my daughter to go out on dates and expect the guy to pay. Like on the first date. I'm not saying. I'm sorry. She can expect the guy to pay. Don't get me wrong. I think that is gentleman like. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is, you always have the money to pay your half and walk away from the date if it doesn't work out. Or if
Right.
you're not feeling the guy on the date and it's not going well, you can say, okay, you know what? I think this is not going the way I want. I'm gonna just pay for my portion and I'm gonna bounce. All this. You just think that you should just get your food paid for. If the date didn't work out, then it was a mutually didn't work out for neither one of y'all. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And damn, what's $30? You should $40. They went to a Cuban restaurant. They food ain't that expensive.
Right. 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 Right.
You know what I'm saying? They eat
Um,
rice and beans and shit.
I'm with you because if he had said that to me and we
Yeah,
hadn't even like met each other face to face, I'm not meeting you anymore. This is over. Because now I know
exactly.
exactly what you want. You want some ass. You and you made it clear that's what you want, even though you didn't say it, but you said it. Um, and I think oh boy was expecting, and I feel like a lot of times, and I'm not talking about you, FA, or my guys on
Yeah,
here.
sure.
I feel like a lot of times guys feel like, oh, if I do A, B, C, and D, then that entitles me to the poom poom. And it doesn't entitle you to the poom poom.
I don't think that. I disagree. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that under certain circumstances you would be right, like flying out of town. Like if he flew you out of town or you flew out of the country, then yes, a guy is expecting to, get some out of that situation, right? But like just going to like meeting up like an hour drive or whatever that they did. I think that it's an expectation because maybe they're on that type of dating site, and that's what's more common
Yeah.
on that type of dating site. But just in general, like I don't, the average Joe Blow guy is not expecting no poom poom because he took a girl out on a date. Even
Right.
if he got a, well, I don't know why he got a room. It was only an hour drive. I'm not sure why. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Because I'm
Well,
like,
because he probably thought that that's what was going down.
right. He's like, I'm gonna take this little hour drive. I'm a feed her. I'm a wine and dine her, and then we gonna go back to the hotel room, get it popping, and I ain't never gotta see you no more. I'm back an hour up the road. I know how this go. Hefe. I used to be on the dating scene. I know how this go. Um,
Right.
but I mean, all I can say is he paid for the meal, even though he didn't go about it maybe in the right way by leaving her at the restaurant. He paid for the meal.
I don't got no problem with what he did. He paid for it. If he want to leave, he can leave. What I mean, damn, what's the problem? What if you're not feeling him? No, clearly she said she wasn't
She
feeling the date.
wasn't.
She felt uncomfortable the whole time. It sounded like she was hungry because I don't know. I know this. I would teach my sisters, any woman I love, anybody, if you're not feeling the date, leave. Like give
Yes.
it 30 minutes, leave. Say, hey, you know
Yes.
what? Respectfully, this is just not, I don't think we're going in the same direction. I really appreciate your time. Here's $50. Here's a portion towards it, whatever. And, you enjoy the rest of your day. That's it. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, we grown, right? People got to
Right.
be, everybody say they grown until it's time to be grown.
Hello. But if he was grown, then he should communicate it. Like she said, he could have been like, "Hey, thank you for your time. It was nice meeting you," and kept it. Even if you're not interested, okay. Thank you. It was nice meeting you. Blah blah blah, and kept it moving. You ain't got to say, "Oh, I'm gonna call you later." None of that. Hey, thank you for your time. It was nice meeting you. You know what that means? You know what that means. Thank you for your time. Nice meeting you. That's some job interview. Thank you. That's what they say to you at the end of a job interview. Thank you for your time. It was nice meeting you today. We'll give you a call. Well, not that part. But DJ Dewitt said she went because she was hungry. Okay, well, women do go on dates for hunger. Tiffany Haddish just confirmed she'd been on a few dates because she was hungry. That's when she was homeless before she got famous. She said, "Yeah, I went out with dudes because I was hungry and I needed to eat." So, yes, some of you guys are food guys and you don't even know it. Sorry. Or should I say, like my brown brothers and sisters, lo siento. Okay, hold on. Fa, let me do this break real quick. Kai got a man at home. Cardi B and Stephon Diggs make it official. We'll get into the deets coming up. 7 minutes right here on 98.7 Kiss. All right. Pat said that's all because she had time to cancel. I think she should have just canceled the date when he already was like, "Oh, yo, you coming back to the room?" She should have canceled it. She should have trusted her gut and said, "Yeah, nah, this ain't gonna work." But I don't know. I just don't think 3 or 4 days is enough time. And then, like you said, those dating websites, you have to be very careful. That's why when I did it, Hefe, I always, what are you looking for? Because I don't want to waste your time and I don't want you wasting my time because I know I'm not giving you no ass. So what are you looking for? And that usually, weeded them out like, okay, I know exactly what he want. Or if they would invite me to the crib on the first chat, I'd be like, you don't even know what type of female I am. You trying to set yourself up for failure. You want to get robbed. So I'm just saying. But there are people out there that do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, there are people out there. So, I mean, if she wanted the free meal, I'm not knocking it. But I think she thought,
You should be. You
what do
should
you
be.
mean?
You should want better for your queens, okay? They shouldn't be that desperate that they going out with guys that they not that interested in for some free food, for some $40 food. God damn, how bad are they doing? How bad are they
What
doing
up,
it? Like,
Joey?
I'm being honest with you. You could not pay me. You could not pay me to be around a girl that I didn't find attractive physically, mentally, any kind of way, just to get some food. Like, I want y'all to hear yourself. Like, that sounds crazy.
Oh no,
That sounds crazy.
I hear you, Hefe, but I'm being realistic, and women do
Okay.
have food guys. It's a thing. There, some of y'all, and some of y'all don't even know that you're the food guy. Some women have guys that they go out with so they can be fed. Hey, I don't judge nobody's struggle. Mama said I've been accused of only wanting a free meal because I don't want a second date. well, is well if you why you don't want the second date, Mama? And is she a food? So, Hefe, let me ask you: is Mama considered to be just wanting a guy for free food if she don't want the second date?
Nah, nah, not at all. I mean, she's not interested. She's not interested. The date is not a guarantee that I'm gonna like you after.
Exactly.
The date
Exactly.
is just the date is an audition for the second date. That's all that it is. So nah, no harm, no foul. It's no guarantees. If a guy go into it expecting things, then he just butt her. And the same way with the girl. Like I mean, nah, nigga, that's the game. The game. If you don't know how to play the game, get out the game. There ain't no guarantees in it.
Right. So that's why that guy should have just said, "Hey, appreciate your time. Had a appreciate your time. It was nice meeting you," and kept it moving.
I'm gonna do what women do. I'm gonna do what women do,
What's
and
that?
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt
Mm-hmm.
without having no facts or no reasons to believe anything. I'm gonna just say, hey, you don't know what went down on that date that made him potentially feel like he might needed to exit that abruptly. You see how y'all do that? Y'all give
But it
benefits of the
wasn't
doubt.
abruptly though. He waited until she went to the restroom to exit the date. What
You're
kind of?
assuming that. You're
That's
assuming
what
that.
she
You're
said.
assuming. I know. She's assuming that. How do you know that something didn't happen once she left? When she went to the restroom and he felt like he needed to leave.
I mean,
How about this? What if he felt so uncomfortable by her that he finally had a chance of freedom once she left and left? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, again, we grown. Fa, didn't you just say that we grown? Why couldn't a simple, "Hey, I appreciate your time, but yeah, I'm about to go. As soon as
Would you tell
I'm
that
about
to
to
a
head out,
woman that she was on? Would
huh?"
you tell that to a woman that felt uncomfortable with a man to say that? Like, if she felt uncomfortable with a man, right? Would you tell her to wait, or would you say, "Hey, man, if you felt uncomfortable and you got an opportunity to leave, leave."
No,
Right?
because
Wouldn't you have?
what I'm telling the females, if a man ever texts you that, run for the border. Don't go on no date with him because
Right.
you know exactly what he wants. She should have never went on this date to begin with. Period. And then she would have never
Oh
got
no.
left at the
Yeah, she was
restaurant.
hungry. She was hungry. I don't
Oh
date
my
girls like
god.
that. I don't date girls like that. I don't date hungry women like that. Desperate for food. You know what I mean? I mean, like, it'd be so fun. I was making a joke with one of your followers when I said, she said, I said, yeah, women are for sale. I was just really being funny with
Oh,
her. You know,
you with mama. That's probably mama
right?
you done
She said, no,
riled
mama,
up.
you can. I said, I sure do.
Yeah.
Sure do.
You funny, Hefe. I'm not messing with you today. Um, Mama said I would cash app you your $30. And Hefe, I want to go back to something you said about you would I encourage you to have send your daughter out on these dates with money just in case something like this ever
Of
happens.
course. No
But
doubt.
I'm always an advocate of it's whoever asks, whoever is the one that pays the bill. So you don't run into any, and that's for you too, ladies. If you ask a man on a date, you should pay for the bill because you asked him out. No, I'm gonna wait and see how many women respond and say, "Oh no, that's not how that works." Yeah, it's whoever is asking who out should pay the bill. But if you have a gentleman, a real G, he ain't gonna want you to pay the bill, so you ain't got nothing to worry about.
I think that I'm being real. I think that I got to be realistic, right? I think that is two sides to that. I think you're right. I agree. A man should pay for the date. I don't have an issue with that belief. I have that belief system. Even if a girl asks me to go out, I will still pay, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, but it wouldn't. But it's also I will also pick. That's another thing too. I will also pick where we going. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Because that's going to determine what I'm willing to pay. I'm not taking you somewhere that is what I'm not willing to pay. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Now, when it comes to my daughter or any like young girl that I would advise, always have money to pay
Yes.
your way. Don't ever make it uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And
Right.
two, just because a man should be a quote unquote, I mean, I should be a gentleman and pay for the date, don't mean everybody was raised that way. And that
Hello.
is not the time to stand your ground on, oh, a man should pay and da da da. Listen, that ain't the time to be trying to explain that because you need to be trying to make it out of there safely at the
Absolutely.
end of the day.
Hold on, Hefe. Let me do this break real quick.
Go ahead.
The best R&B 98.7 Kiss Dee Dee Rocker in your middays on your Tuesday. Getting you through this workday is what I do. Happy Tuesday to you. All right, Gotti got a new man at home. I'm so happy for Cardi B. Child, let me tell you something. And this ain't all my fellas out there, but let me tell you something, fellas. You know, when y'all break up with somebody, y'all like to downgrade. You know, when we break up with somebody, we upgrade. So, baby, Gotti B says, I see you. Stephon Diggs. Okay, girl. They made it official last night at the Knicks game. The Knicks with the win and Cardi with the win as well. Let's go Knicks. So, I don't know how that's going to work out with Stephon Diggs because, yeah, child. I heard some things about Stephon. But we'll see how long that lasts. So, congratulations, I guess, to Cardi B. I see you, sis. More on the way. It's 98.7 Kiss. Go, what you got to say, Hefe? I know you got to say something about what I said. Is Hefe still there? Hefe might have been left. I'm gonna.
I'm here. I'm talking about, oh God, that girl just about to get hit. Oh, she ain't upgrade. What are you talking about? That relationship ain't going nowhere.
I know, but I got a female audience. I gotta, gas it up a little
Okay, I
bit.
understand. Do your
Yeah.
thing. Do your thing.
Hey, V for Vendetta. So Mama said same reason why he left. Right? They very thinking it's lifetime commitment. Right? They be thinking it's a lifetime commitment. She's going back to what you were saying, Hefe, about the dating. Folks go on these dates thinking that it's a lifetime commitment. But when you first start dating somebody, you're right. You're trying to get to know them. This is an audition. Let me see if I even like you first.
Exactly.
And Mama said he didn't walk, he ran. I'm not messing with you. He ran out the restaurant. Mama said, I'm not asking no man on no date unless we together. Well, I ain't saying you should ask, but there are some women that are bold enough to ask a man.
I think you should. I think y'all. I don't understand. Y'all so strong and empowered and this and that, and then you. Why not? If you see a guy that you're interested in, why not? Hey, you free this weekend? I mean, I don't know. I get it traditionally that men, but I don't know, man. I think women. I think y'all need to look. I don't think y'all winning. I think. I think y'all need to get a dude. If y'all want a dude, I think y'all should be out here trying to do what y'all got to do to get one, and stop sitting back
And waiting
necessarily
for the
waiting
man.
for one to fall in your lap. I mean, because for some women it works, but some women it's not. Like you said, how you was explaining your situation earlier. You was working a lot. You weren't really running into maybe the guys that you were interested in dating,
Yeah.
so you had to become active, proactive, and get out there and put yourself in front of some people. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I don't recommend dating websites, unless again, yeah, because again, I'm not. Listen, there is no shame in my game. You know what I'm saying? I lived in Atlanta, which is a terrible place to meet single men. Um, so yeah, I turned to the dating websites, and one website was Tinder, and my mom, she was like, man, just know with these dating websites, some of these men be looking for hookups, and she wasn't lying. Like immediately when I was on there, a guy was like, hey, come to my house. And I'm like, I don't even know you to come to your house. How about we could go to a restaurant, maybe go grab some drinks,
Right.
but I'm not coming to your house. I don't even know you. And I'm like, do people really do this? And she was like, yeah, they really do be on there linking up. So God bless you people and stay safe because I can't do it. So yeah, I'm so glad I met boyfriend because woo! Mama said I'm old school. Nope. Mama said men are not the prize, women are. Don't you get FA started. don't, don't you get FA started, Mama.
Look,
Did you hear?
I'm gonna say this. Some of you women are a prize. Most of you women aren't. That's all I would say. I think that you don't. I think that you know, you can get. You keep dirtying up something. Eventually, it will become dirty.
So
Okay, it
you,
ain't a prize no more.
so you feel like some women are not the prize anymore.
No, I think most women are not the prize
You said most.
anymore.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
Hefe.
yeah, I know. I'm talking about modern day. But yes.
Okay, you gotta give some backing, some examples, some receipts on why you feel like most women nowadays are not the prize. Because I'm interested to hear your take on that.
I think mostly because of the mindset, right?
Because you said women are for
And how,
sale.
yeah, well, yeah, they are. We know that. All like we just talk nicely, but we all know. a guy, and most women will overlook a lot of different character flaws or looks or anything about a guy if he got enough money. So it tells me that, oh, you can obtain a woman as long as you have a certain amount of money. Which then I say it bluntly and say, oh, you must be for sale. Now you may not literally be for sale, but what I'm saying is you value money so much that all the other things that you say you like or you care about in a guy, you tend to be able to turn a blind eye to if he got enough money. You know what I mean? So I'm just being real about it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the
I
reason why
mean,
I say women,
you do have
oh, go
points,
ahead.
FA, because I done seen some females with some ugly looking men. I got be like, God bless them.
We know that. We know that. We know that. I just think that naturally women aren't the prize anymore just because of how they carry themselves. That's all. You know what I mean? When I heard stuff like when we got legit arguments on the internet about women saying how many people they slept with does not matter at all, that let me know you're not the prize. Like, I'm not even saying the fact that you can just say that out your mouth, like it doesn't matter at all.
About how many women a man has slept with.
No, how many men a
Men.
woman has slept.
So you're saying women don't care about that?
No, I mean, well, that's what the internet says. They say body count don't matter, right? Doesn't most women say that?
I've never heard no
Most
woman
modern day,
do that. I've
you
never.
never heard a woman? Oh my! Oh well, listen. Let me just fill you in. Yes, this has been a hot topic on for multiple years now, and the average and modern day woman would argue that their past or their body count does not matter. That's like the most common answer. It shouldn't matter. It doesn't matter. They got a bunch of different reasons why they believe it shouldn't matter, which is fine. I don't agree with none of them, but that's their opinion and that's fine. What I'm saying is the fact that they think that. Let me ask you this: can a prize be used? Can a prize be used? Like, is a prize really valuable if it's been overused?
But I could say that could go both ways though, Hefe. Because what about y'all body count? And don't say that it don't matter because y'all men. Because I don't want to hear that. Y'all can be used.
And I
Y'all
wouldn't
can be
say that.
used in damaged goods too.
The problem is women are attracted to men that usually have a lot of women.
Oh, I don't.
So
Because I don't like sharing. Yeah, I don't do sharing.
maybe no. I'm talking about no. I'm not talking about currently. I'm saying that women desire highly desirable men.
I got you. I got you. I understand. Attract. I got what you're saying. Yeah.
Right.
Um. But then that kind of contradicts what you said because you said women, basically are for sale and will date anybody that got the money. I don't know, Fa. I'm trying to keep up.
It don't contradict.
Fa, you still
That
there?
this is what men like in a woman. I didn't say that this is what men like in a woman. Women, just to make it plain and simple, women don't care how many women a man has slept with. It's not a disqualifying factor for most women. If you got all the other things, if you 6 foot tall, if you look good, if you this, you that, if you got some money, women tend not to care as much as if you had a promiscuous past. That's how women feel, and women got the right to feel that way. I'm just saying men don't have to feel that way. They can be opposite. They can say, no, I do care about that. So everything is not, oh, well, women don't care. If women's body count matters, men don't care. Well, it doesn't matter because y'all just says it doesn't matter. Because the way that y'all date, y'all tend never to say, man, I'm not messing with that guy. He slept with all those women. I ain't messing with. You don't never hear a woman say that if he's successful. Look at Diggs. You kind of laughed at the end because you was insinuating that Stephon Diggs has had a lot of women in his past, right?
Babe, he just had a baby. Not
Now,
insinuate.
how many?
He
How
just
many
had a
women?
baby.
How many women is gonna be like, I'm not messing with Stephon Diggs. He slept with all those women in his past. That don't happen, baby. They all sign up for it. Yeah,
No,
everybody. I know.
I'm in this industry. Plenty of chances, but no. Entertain? No, I'm good because
Maybe not you, mom, but we know that the average woman would.
I know what comes with that. And I know I'm kind of crazy. So, yeah, I would have been in somebody's jail. So, yeah, I just chose not to put myself in those situations. What up, Rashad? What up, DJ Kidtree? I chose not to put myself in those situations. But let me ask you this, FA. Um, does that make a woman less of a prize because she doesn't put, I guess, as many expectations on you, on men? Does that make her less of a prize? Because we don't hold you guys accountable. You're absolutely right. And we need to probably do a better job. But guess what? And I'm not trying to make no excuses. There are more of you guys out. I mean, there's more women out here than there are men. So I'm not saying it's slim pickings, but when it comes to a man, it's anticipated that a man's body count is okay. He's gonna, because isn't that what makes y'all a man? I'm just saying that's a question.
Most men don't have a high body count, right? That's just that's
Really?
the average guy. Yes, the average guy in America really probably struggles with being able to obtain relations from a woman.
Hold on
I
one
think
second.
that
Unless you got money, right? Like you said. Hold on. The best
okay.
R&B 98.7 Kiss. Big shout out to my guy Eric over there at Easy Cuts that always has it locked to the best in R&B 98.7 Kiss. You know what it is. Good afternoon. Um, Go ahead. Hefe, I'm sorry.
I just think we need to just always we have to our women have to accept that we find certain things attractive in women and women find certain things attractive in men and they don't always parallel. Sometimes they're not the same. So it's not about quote unquote we got to hold men more accountable. If women simply don't care about it and it don't bother them, then you don't have to care about it because it doesn't bother you. We're just telling you that it bothers most men.
But let's be realistic though, Hefe, because
Right.
isn't it not ingrained that they're men? That's how they're supposed to act. They're supposed to do
Yeah,
this. They're
sure.
supposed to do
Yeah,
that. They're supposed
sure.
to sleep with a lot
Yeah.
of women. I Because you don't have a son, you have a daughter. But if you had a son, would you be, hey, son, you need to get as much poom poom as you can? Would you
Not
not
no
be?
more. Not no more. Not no
Okay,
more.
it would be a different
Not anymore.
conversation.
I grew up, that way, but I've seen the pros and the cons to that, and I would not advocate that anymore. But a lot of us, I taught that because we didn't grow up with fathers in our lives, so we were taught like our masculinity is actually associated
Right,
with how many women we can get.
right.
But when you raised by a man and you're taught that no, your masculinity is measured by like if you keep your word, if you're a man of your honor, if you're responsible, if your integrity, yada yada yada. When you're taught those type of things, then you realize no, it's not actually about how many women you can sleep with. You know what I'm saying? So
But
no, I wouldn't teach that to my son
but if
anymore.
if you said you heard it, what makes you think the
Right.
females didn't hear that? I have
No, I
brothers.
agree with you. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Yes, most men probably grew up,
Hey, Rashad.
with that ideology for sure. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Right. So I mean I can't, because I feel like that this is something that has been taught men and women both, that okay, men, yes, they're going to do what they do, they're going to sleep with as many women as they can because that's what they do, they're
Right,
men. I feel like that's been
right.
embedded in both men and women, and maybe that's why
Sure.
women don't really necessarily care about y'all body count.
And maybe that's the reason. I'm not looking at the source. I'm just looking at the outcome. I'm just saying that they don't care. You're giving me reasons why they may not care. I get it. I mean, I would. Maybe that is a reason. I'm not sure. I just know that they don't care. You know what I mean? I know that highly desirable men never. I'm talking about almost never miss out on a woman because of him, his promiscuous past. Almost never.
Okay. um and I'm gonna let, hey Rashad, DJ Kitchery said, how many is a high body count for a man?
No, I'm good.
It ain't no high body count for a man because no matter what a man's body count is, it's always gonna be a woman that takes him.
For sure.
What do you mean, woman that's,
The majority of women will take them.
oh yeah, I mean, like I said, if that was taught to you guys, like go out here, that was taught to us, like, okay, well, a man is going to be a man at the end of the day, so they're going to go out, they're going to sleep with multiple women, that's what they do, you know.
Oh, so why you going against what you was taught? How about that? Not you per se,
No, I
but
know what
why
you're
is
saying.
women going against what they were taught? Because if a man was kind of conditioned, and I agree with you, we were conditioned to go and roil our soil our
Yeah.
royal oats, and women even kind of conditioned to think that that is what men do too. Wasn't women also taught and conditioned that they should not be giving themselves to a bunch of different men?
Well, I don't know about, I can
Now
only
you don't
speak,
know.
I can only
Now
speak for
you
me.
don't know. Now you
No, no, no,
hold on.
I can
Let me
only speak for,
generalize just a
No, no,
saying?
no, no.
So
I can only speak for me. But I was having a conversation with Mama today, and we talked about this yesterday with the kids. Kids are reflections of what they see. So if they got a ghetto ass mama acting ghetto, out here being
my
promiscuous,
God.
sleeping with multiple people, that's what they gonna maybe emulate.
You're not being consistent, DD.
What do you
You're
mean?
not being consistent.
What didn't I be?
You was, it was real smooth and understandable when you made the generalization that most men and women we were conditioned to think that men should go out and sleep around and whatever, right? And we all agree. And then I said, well, wasn't women taught to not sleep around? And then it's like, oh, I don't know. I can only speak for me. You know damn well that women were taught not to sleep around
I
after
know
they
what I
finish.
was taught, Hefe. I can't speak for all the damn women in the world. I'm only Dee Dee. But I mean, yes, if we're going back to yes, back in the day,
Thank you.
yes. Rashad, sorry, because we've been talking about a lot. The conversation was a woman got ghosted on a date from a guy. He paid for the check though, but once she went to the bathroom, he left out.
Why?
Yeah, you want to hear the story? Let me play the audio for you.
No, you can just tell me. I'm good.
I'd rather play the audio so you can hear. It's not. Yeah.
All right.
Here we go.
Officially seen it all. My first 0
Hey,
out of
William.
10 date. This man left me at the restaurant while I was in the bathroom. I think I'm gonna hang it up for a while. Yep. I don't have anything left to give. But if I'm honest, I never should have gone on the date in the first place.
Hey, babe.
Everything was telling me not to. Everything. The signs were there, but I was like, I'll give him a chance. Nope. Follow your gut. Follow your gut. Everything was going fine. This guy and I had been talking for like 3 or 4 days. He asked me out to dinner for this weekend, today. Chose a cute little Cuban spot, made the plans, we figured out the time, all that jazz. He doesn't live here in Charlotte. It was about an hour and a half outside of Charlotte, so he drove in and got a hotel for the night. Where the problem started is he texted me this.
So hold on, because you probably ain't gonna be able to read
I
that.
read that and I was,
It says, "Do you feel like you'll be comfortable enough to stay at the hotel with me, or are you going to make your curfew? LOL. Go home." All right. So continue.
like, oh, absolutely not. So I responded with this.
And she said,
And ever since
she
that,
said, I don't do sleepovers this early. I'm not sure if that's what you're on, like more of a hookup situation, but that's not me. All right. Here we go. To finish.
the vibes just turned in our conversation. But it was the day of the date, within like a few hours of it. So I had the decision to make of like, do I cancel this because it's kind of going left, or do I just go? He was apologetic because I guess he felt like I misunderstood what he was saying, but I personally feel like I knew exactly what he was saying. He thought this was going to be something that it wasn't. So he shows up, Hollister hoodie, jeans, no reservation, barely speaks on the date. It's so awkward. I'm so uncomfortable for the entire thing. I just order my food, quickly eat a little bit of it, put it in a to-go box. We barely speak for the majority of the dinner. Barely. We just watch the live music. Then I decide to go to the bathroom, and when I come back, I'm going to ask him if he's ready to go. By the time I go and come back, I'm in the bathroom for maybe 2 minutes. I come back, he's gone. Vanished. Nowhere to be found.
All right.
Nowhere to be found. Granted,
So
the date was...
He did pay for the meal, Rashad. Put it out there. He did pay for the meal. But he did leave and ghost her. Yeah. And me and Hefe, we've been going, because Hefe's statement, and then I don't want to misquote you, Hefe, but this is what I got from your statement. Hefe is saying, because Mama brought up something about men being the prize, or what was she said? Men are not the prize, women are. And then Hefe, you want to address what you said?
We kind of bounce around, but
Yeah, we're bouncing around.
I just told her, I said that I believe that women were originally the prize, and I believe that some very few women still are a prize, and I just think the majority of women today aren't a prize. consider what would be worthy of being able to maintain being a prize. But that's my general opinion.
So the question is, the question is, are women a prize, or was the question associated with the event that occurred?
Uh, like he said, we've been bouncing around, but the last thing we were talking about is because I was explaining to Hefe, because he was explaining to me that women kind of are not concerned with men in their body count, and I was explaining to him, I'm like, well, you guys are not really concerned with it either, because I feel like you guys have been taught from little boys to, yeah, go out there, have as much sex, get as many women as you can. You know what I'm saying? And Hefe, I don't want to speak for you, but I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Are you confused? I know we're all over the place.
I'm trying to figure out what's the question. What do you want me to respond to?
So that's what it was. She wants you to respond to the video. Somebody in the comments just made the comment of women is the prize, and I think that they were kind of just
Yeah, Mama did. Yeah.
Like, I think she was just referring to the date, like almost like we should treat women like they're the prize even from day one. You know what I mean? Like, when I first met you, you're the prize, so I should, be chivalrous. I mean, I ain't gonna say basic stuff, but I'm just saying, like, that's how you should be viewed from just day one. And I was just laughing because I was like, all women are just not the prize. Like, every woman is just not like this glorious.
You said most. You said most, Hefe.
Oh, no, I want, and I said, and I qualified it by saying modern day. As I believe that most modern day women are not the prize, are not a prize.
I know it's all over the place, Rashad.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal. In 2025, everybody is at a disadvantage, right? Because there are so many skewed aspects of what appropriate should look like. Everybody has a different perception. Everybody has a different perspective. And because of that, we have emotional responses to the scenarios. So if you look at how she took his text message, right? He might have been trying to make a joke, but she was taken back. And instead of saying, yeah, whatever, she came with a response. And in her response, he could have interpreted that as a little spicy.
So why go on a date, though?
Huh?
Why even still go on a date?
That's where I was about to go.
Yeah.
She sat there and she said, made me feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I still went, though. I still ordered my food.
Oh, God.
I didn't eat much. I just put it in a to-go container. And then I went to the bathroom and I was going to tell her I'm good. Why even go?
Yeah.
That was her fault.
Yeah.
So, in other words, he got her before she got him. And so, to be honest with you, in that scenario, she was the one to blame.
So she's wrong.
I mean, she's wrong because she shouldn't have went.
And I agree with you. I wouldn't have went on the date. Period.
I can't consider any woman that goes out on dates to just get free food.
See? And it's a lot of that going on.
Hold on, because we got to get back to this prize thing. Hold on. We'll see if the Pacers can close out this series with the Cavs and the Nuggets and Thunder. Who is going to take the lead with that? Game 5 tonight, the NBA playoffs. Yeah, second round. Gotta love it. It's 98.7 Kiss, the best R&B. I want to go back to this because with Hefe, with this prize thing. Because me and you kind of were, and Mama said she agrees. And Mama said you said most women. And she said, and I said, he got trauma. Where's Rashad? She did say, where's Rashad? Not you, Rashad.
I need your mama to spell my name right. I'm not going to be disrespected.
Oh, my goodness.
There you go. Oh, there go that trauma speaking.
But, Hefe, I want to go back to what you said. Go ahead, Rashad.
I do have trauma.
I do too.
My trauma came from women that were shorter than 5 feet.
You gonna leave my mama alone. Leave my mama alone. I want to go back to the prize thing, Hefe, because you said most women are not the prize because, and again, if I'm
Modern day.
modern day, okay, modern day women are not the prize. And I want to go back to you saying because we don't question.
Can I rephrase that real quick?
Go ahead.
I don't think you need to.
Most women are most modern day women aren't a prize. Let me say a prize instead of say the prize, because that would imply that the men are like much superior. So I
Okay.
would rather just say most women aren't a prize.
Okay, I can respect that. But you're saying they're not a prize because, and Mama said, how do you spell it, Rashad?
How do you spell it? Look. If I gotta tell you, it won't meant for you to know.
Oh my God, Rashad, just spell the name for her so she can know how to spell it so you don't got to get on here talking about Mama said your name wrong.
Look, man, your mom gonna be out here foul. She gonna be out here foul.
Rashad, why you got to
That
make
ain't
her?
my job.
You're just like a damn
She gonna
Capricorn.
foul.
How you want to make Mama? Just spell it how you want to, Mama, because Rashad talk about he. See, this is why y'all not the prize.
See, look, if I wasn't the prize, I would have told her. But because I am the prize,
Oh
she
my
gonna
God.
figure it out.
This is why. Hefe, you want to know why y'all not the prize? Right here, Rashad. That's why y'all not the prize. I'm just messing with you, Rashad. I gotta mess with you a little bit. But no, Hefe, I kind of want to go back and touch on this a little bit before we hop off of here because I just want a clarification. So you're saying, what did you say? Modern day women, right, are not a prize, and you feel like they're not a prize because they're not asking the right questions as far as body count and those type of things. Hold on, I want.
So, so let me.
They're not the prize because of how they carry themselves and some of the decisions that they've made in their
So
life.
watch this. Let me put it all together real quick. Let me put it all together. I know you've never watched it, Dee, but you've seen the clips.
What's
All
that?
right. The classic example for women in 2025. The classic example. Pop the balloon.
Wow.
Pop the balloon. They be popping. They swear up and down. They want a good dude. They want all of these attributes, and then you put a good dude in front of them, and then they pick the shallowest reasons. The shallowest, even though they're at a disadvantage. It's 5 women to 1 man, and they're still shallow. So the reason why Jorge or
Hefe.
Hefe, call him,
Kids, how you gonna check Mama about your name and then you saying Hefe's name wrong?
the reason why Hefe is saying that women are not the prize is because women are portraying a perception that is not accurate to who they are.
Mm.
You know, women try to present themselves to the world. What do they always say? I'm a queen this, I'm a queen that. And yet, if you see her out at the club, she smells like liquor and weed. Ain't no fucking queens. Ain't no fucking queens doing that shit. None. I don't care who you are. If you put yourself in the public and you conduct yourself as anything else other than royalty, you are not a queen and you are not a prize.
Okay.
Bottom line. Now here's the thing. This is what women like to say. But yeah, but what about y'all men and all this? Fair enough. We know that most of these dudes claiming to be the prize, we know that they not the prize. They're only saying that because they tired of hearing y'all say it.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that what's going
That's it.
on?
No, I think first of all, I think it's almost as many delusional men than there are women. I don't think it's men more, but I think it's close. And secondly, I want to make this final point. Because I want you to drop home how women can maintain them being the prize. Do you remember? I mean, most men, and I know Rashad gonna be able to relate. When we were younger, right? It was exclusivity for a woman really maintain her being a prize. For example, it was a time that girls didn't even give guys their number.
Mm.
So it was was an accomplishment if you just got her number. You see, what I'm saying? Because everybody didn't have access to this girl. It was such a brag or boast that a girl just gave you her number and you developed access to her. So that was the exclusivity is what kind of gave her or maintained this idea of her being the prize. When she like gives herself to everyone, and that's the kind of point where when I said about the body count thing, it it it, it it waters down. It's kind of hard for me to view her as valuable, but everybody, a significant amount of people, access to her. So that's what I was getting with when I said that.
I mean, the body count thing to me, because y'all got just as many bodies, and I get it, y'all men, it's different, double standards. I
No,
hear you,
it's different because y'all don't care. You gotta stop putting it on men. It's different because y'all don't care.
but then it goes back to what I've been
Y'all
saying
care.
on why we don't care, because that has been okay embedded in us.
Now I have to
No,
find out
Didi,
women
watch
become
this.
more
Didi,
intelligent than that.
Didi, watch this. Watch this. Y'all don't care has nothing to do with men putting that on you.
I didn't say
Y'all
men.
not caring, y'all not caring has to do with what women are willing to accept to not be lonely. The biggest challenge that women have is loneliness, because that will make you do all kinds of things that go against your character. I knew this chick that I work with. She was a manager at a logistics company. She had 2 degrees. She was well established, but she was very thin, and she didn't have any accentuations, right? She was mildly cute, but she was, educated to the nth degree, and she was a great catch, great personality, all that stuff. But because of the fact that nobody was seeking her out, she ended up with a dude that had been in and out of jail. When I found this out, I was like, what? So why the hell would you do that? And she was just like, man, she said, ain't nobody else out here for me.
Well, I do see
And
women
so
going to the
one of the
prisons and finding men. I did.
and
Yeah,
so one of the reasons why women don't care about body count has nothing to do with men.
it does. It does. It does.
That's my that's the point. This it's just like Hefe said, it ain't got nothing to do with us.
It
It's
does.
y'all.
That
Because
does. It's y'all.
if you guys were taught to sow your royal oats at young ages, what do you think women heard? Oh, they're men. That's what men do.
Nah, y'all are not that
But who
controlled.
do you hear
Y'all
that
are
from
not
though?
that controlled. Whether
But,
you
but, but,
heard
but,
it or
but
not, that doesn't shape your entire women's opinion. Women been women. Listen,
I don't
women
say
been getting
women are
taught
not a
that men cheat
prize.
all the time, and the majority of women accept.
I would not say women
Or
are
at
not
least
the
they say
prize
they
because
don't.
we don't care about your body count. Like I said, I feel like that is something that your father, your grandfather, yeah, boy, go out there and get you some trim,
okay.
as much trim as
But
you
men are
can.
not the prize.
But
They
watch this.
maintain their
But watch
value.
this. Watch this, DD.
And you
To
said
the
something I
point
want
that
to go.
you're
I want
making.
to go back to. Go ahead.
To the point that you're making, you're saying that men are telling this to women. That
I'm
hey, it's
saying
just what
that this
men
is
do.
what the world has told us. Okay, it
But
doesn't
you have
matter.
to no, don't say the world.
Yes, I have
You
to say
hear
the
that
world.
from other women. You don't hear that from men.
Don't hear what?
Men do not tell women you just gotta accept it. This is just who you
Yes,
are.
y'all
You don't hear
do.
that.
That is
No,
a
we don't.
lie. Yes, y'all
No, we
do.
don't.
Yes, y'all do.
No,
I
we
have
don't.
definitely heard a man say, "This is just what men do. You gotta accept it. Most men are cheaters.
So
You gotta accept
wait.
it. Most
I'll
men
put it
are
this way:
whores.
the
You
only
gotta
time you
accept
hear
it."
that from a man, wait a minute. The only time you hear that from a man is if you catch a no good man cheating. That's the only time you hear that from men. But when you come up, when you're young, you hear that from women. You don't hear that from men when you're growing up. If you ever think about hearing that when you were growing up, you heard that from other women. You might have heard it from your mama. You might have heard it from your granny. You might have heard it from your aunties. You might have heard it from your cousins. You didn't hear that from no twos growing up.
I
You
did.
didn't, because we don't say that when we're young. We definitely don't tell that to our daughters.
Oh, my daddy told me y'all men wasn't shit. Yes, he did. What you talking about?
He told you what?
That men weren't shit. That's what he told me. Had the
Well,
conversation before
so
I went to college.
but no. So here's the deal. There's a difference between saying men ain't shit and you should accept
No,
what
he
men
did.
are.
He said if you find a
He
good
said
one,
you should
hold
accept
on,
it.
no. Let me finish. He said if you find a good one and you're lucky enough to find a good one, you better hold on to him because ain't that many good ones out here. He
Yeah,
know
but
because
that's a
he
different
ain't.
message. That's a different message.
Okay.
That is a different message. You were saying that you as women have been taught that this is what men do and you have to accept it. Your daddy didn't tell you to accept that. He said, hey, don't expect nothing from these no good niggas. And if you find you a good one, hold on to them. Those are two completely different messages.
Yet he did tell me what to expect. Or you saying you did basically, like I said, I didn't need to hear it from my daddy. I heard it from the world. Men, this is what men do. Men do this. They sleep with a lot of women. I didn't have to hear it from my daddy.
I
So
just find
you
it
have outside
interesting that you
influence. What were you saying,
I
Hefe?
just find it interesting that you come to this conclusion and it's so no, women are programmed and none of it we all accept it and then it's like y'all got the I'm not disagreeing that the message in society portrayed in movies and sort of women and your grandfather and all that. I'm not necessarily against what you're saying. I'm just saying that I'm against this idea that so that's why we're all just so brainwashed and we just all are conditioned to accept it. It's just what it is. It's like no, women are smart enough and independent enough, meaning like individual thinkers to be like, yeah, that's what we were taught, but we don't like that. We don't agree with that. You see what I mean? And you're saying there's no way that that's possible. What's up?
No, I'm not saying it's
So
not no way it is. It's
of course I
possible.
did.
I'm just saying in order to correct it, it needs to you have to start correcting it when these babies is babies. So that way we can make this thing right. That's what I'm saying. I'm growing. You have these babies surrounded in the world, and yes, they hear things. They may not hear it from you, but they hear it from the outside world. So that's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, maybe my dad didn't say that to me. That's what men do, and that's just what men do. But guess what? I got brothers, and I heard it from my brothers. And Mama said what'd she say? Men have become too feminine. They want our struggles. What else did Mama say? She could still be a prize to another man. And yes, you men do say it all the time. And I want to go back to what you said about women being lonely because I know some lonely ass men out here. And I just saw a study that said women, hold on. I just saw a study and I can send it to you because I like the receipts. I just saw a study saying that women are more happy being single than men are.
Don't lie.
Okay.
Well, no. That's definitely the truth. No, that's the truth. The reason why is because women are used to being single. Men are not.
So then who needs to be in a relationship more? Men or women? Y'all are.
Get a chick.
Y'all.
No. Men are not down. Listen.
Yes, y'all are. Let's not do it.
When they are down alone, no, they're not crying about it. You don't see nobody. Men are not on TV talking about they can't find a good woman and da 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 da. They're not crying about. Women are the ones that said they can't obtain what they want. They can't obtain or find this man that they desire.
And you know
You
why
know
men are
they
not
said
doing
that.
that? Because you know why? Because some straight man is going to get, look at this sassy ass nigga on TV talking about he can't find a woman. If he don't go shut his sassy ass up and go sit down somewhere, that's why y'all don't do it.
We don't know that to be true. I'm
Come
not
on.
saying it's not
Come on.
reasonable, but I'm not saying it's not reasonable. I'm only going on facts. I'm going on what actually happened. And what actually happens is men don't cry about the stuff that they can't get. Generally, they don't. They just either try to find a way to get it. That's what it is, or they just deal with their results. They deal with their life and their decisions and their outcomes. That's just what it is. And then guess what? And the men that keep crying about their lack of success or their lack of outcomes, you know what we call them?
What?
Weak. Weak. Stop crying. Nigga, go do something about it.
Okay. So to your point. Hefe, I won't say that men don't suffer with loneliness, and I won't say that men don't cry about not being successful in all of these things. We don't externalize it
Exactly.
the way that women do.
Exactly.
There's a difference. There's a difference. And that's also one of the reasons why the suicide rate for black men is higher than anybody else. Because we hold all of it in because just like you said, we can't let it out. If we let it out, we'll be judged.
Yeah.
And so that's why you don't don't see it as much. But just because you don't
I think
see
that
it,
plays a role. Plays a role.
yeah.
And I wasn't necessarily saying that men do not suffer with loneliness. I said men don't complain about being alone.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
definitely
but
don't
because you
complain.
because
Y'all
society
make
has made
y'all
it
make
so you
a
can't
TikTok video
complain.
No,
every week.
what I would never allow you to do again on this live is speak in generalizations because you pick and choose when you can only speak for yourself, and then you can pick. So only speak for yourself because you don't know about these men. So only speak for yourself.
Whatever, Hefe. Listen, Hefe. I do not generalize. I'm just being hypothetical. And because he made a statement about lonely women, and I'm like, that's furthest from the truth. Because y'all can't stay single for 5.2 seconds before y'all looking for y'all next woman. I could be in the
Well,
grave.
you gotta remember, it's not the fact that we're looking; it's the fact that people are approaching.
You said that's what I.
Come on, everybody ain't approaching. I think he cut out. Everybody ain't approaching because some of y'all do be looking, or some of y'all got them waiting in the wind. Ain't even
Well,
2 days in the damn grave, and you done already moved Helen into your damn house. What is going on, y'all?
They be approaching. That's well, you also got to remember another thing, Didi. You know, 100% we are built different.
Absolutely.
You know we're built different, and men, we are not a part of y'all. Y'all thrive in your emotions.
Yeah.
You thrive in it, and you will take time, and you'll sit and you'll reflect, and you'll lean into them. That's why y'all can stay single longer than we can, because the longer we're single, the more we have to deal with our emotions, and we don't deal with our emotions. We find other things to mask our problems, which is why we go and grab somebody else so fast. Y'all look at it as a selfish thing, but it's really we're trying to move beyond that pain
I didn't think about it
faster
that way.
than
I didn't
y'all
even
do.
think about it
Yeah.
that way. You
Y'all
learn
sit
something
there
new
in
every.
that pain, and you will shoot. Look, I know women that have lost husbands in their 30s, and they're 60 years old and still ain't got a new man.
Yeah.
That don't happen to men.
But
You
see,
can't
I
do that.
I didn't know that. See, because you guys have to keep all your emotions bottled in because of society and what
100%.
society says and this and that. I really do feel
100%.
for you, man, because it's like, Dag, I wouldn't be able to do that, baby. Y'all would be like, oh, whatever his name is a big old sissy baby. Yep, I is. Hold on one second.
Well, that's,
Hold on one
yeah.
second. Hold on. Big up to Asher, who received his honorary doctorate from Emory University. And he was the keynote speaker. Okay, Ash, I see you. It's 98.7 Kiss. Mama said men can't be alone. We established it. I mean, I get it.
That's,
But
and
knowing,
that's my point. Because, and if you find a dude that's been alone, especially after grief like that, that's when suicide happens.
yeah, see, I
We don't
didn't,
deal with our emotions.
I didn't,
Y'all lean into them.
I didn't know that's why y'all
Y'all have
move around like that. It makes sense now. It makes absolutely good
yeah.
sense. Yeah. Because you got to be
Yeah,
on top of
look,
somebody else to forget somebody else.
Didi, the one thing that I tell you every time we talk is that trauma is
Yeah.
on both sides. It's on both sides, but we manifest it differently.
One,
Y'all lean into it.
Oh, go ahead, bro. My bad.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I want to get back into it. Can we end the debate of this prize thing? I just ask one question.
God
Please.
damn, how do we get back? I was trying to, man, I tried to get away
I was trying. I couldn't help myself.
I wanted to go back to it too, Hefe, because I got something else to say. Go ahead.
Is it? I'm asking you this. Do things lose value in the dating? Do things lose value? Just in general, do things lose value?
Do people lose value?
Just Didi, plead the fifth. He about to, like his homeboy say, he about to walk you in the room.
He about to go do that.
Things just lose value.
He about to walk you.
He can't walk me in the room because I could say the same thing with a man. It goes
Okay,
it goes
that
both.
can't be your response to everything, though.
It goes
That can't be your response to
it,
everything.
but it go. No, I'll use my Rashad response. It goes both ways.
That'll be no response.
Yes, it do. You've used that response before. It goes both ways. Yes, things do lose. Yes, things do lose value, but
in the dating market, could a man become less valuable depending on some of the decisions that he's made?
absolutely,
What about a woman?
absolutely.
Okay, so would that woman remain the prize in any relationship she gets in?
Will she remain the prize? Why can't she? Like Mama said, she's a prize to somebody in somebody's eyes. Maybe not to you, but
no, that's the foolishness. I mean, this is why women are not leading because y'all have this idea of well, it's somebody forever. It's like we listen.
okay, I give you one better. Cause hold on, Hefe. I'll give you one better, Hefe. Cause we got a man who's running this country who has filed for bankruptcy how many times? But yet this man is leading this country though. So people can f up. You can bounce back from your mistakes, is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to live and dwell in your mistakes. A mistake is a mistake. It's your past.
That's not a good example, Ma.
Yes, it is.
When you get on, it's not because when you get on a certain level and you got a certain.
Why is that not a good example? Why is that not a good example?
Because you're thinking that bankruptcy is a bad thing. When you make a lot of money, bankruptcy is a tool for the wealthy.
How many times has this man filed for bankruptcy? Why is he equipped to lead a country and this man has filed for bankruptcy? But guess what? All has been forgiven and he's running the country.
But you're answering multiple different questions.
No. I didn't ask any questions.
You're asserting that he's not a good businessman.
He isn't.
He's filed bankruptcy multiple times.
He isn't.
Maybe he isn't. But you're maybe he isn't. That's irrelevant. But then you're correlating that with, well, how was he able to become the president? Where that one had nothing to do with that.
Absolutely. If you can't run a business, how you gonna run this country?
So why is he the president?
Didi, watch this.
Go ahead.
Here's the point that he's making. The point that he's making is that him running a business has nothing to do with how he markets himself to voters.
Exactly.
Right? The way that he marketed himself was based upon perceptions that people had about him, not
exactly.
They didn't deal with facts. And so when you correlate that to the value of women and things like that, women will try to market perceptions, but they overlooked facts.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Good job, Rashad.
You needed Rashad's help because you wasn't going to win that argument. You needed Rashad's help. F.A., because you was not going to win the argument today. You needed Rashad for that. But I hear what both of you are saying, but it actually does correlate with y'all delusional perception of this man. Because how can you run a business which this country isn't this country?
Wrong questions. Didi, you're asking the wrong questions. Don't ask how can you run a country. Ask how can you vote for someone?
I did say that.
Not proven himself to be successful.
But you knew what I was getting to. Yeah, you knew I was getting there. I didn't get there yet.
Oh, okay. But so, I mean, the question, and I tell people this, don't question Trump. Trump is doing exactly what he knew he wanted to do. He played the system, and he does it better than anybody else.
But to go back to But to go back to what you were saying,
don't fall for that trick. Don't fall for that trick.
I'm just waiting to see it. I don't know all the information.
So this is what's gonna happen. If they get rid of the property tax and you ain't got to pay on your assets every year, what they're going to do, they're going to require you to pay such a high percentage up front that normal people won't be able to afford it. And so we won't even be able to get these houses or get these properties. And so, trust me, when have they ever done anything? When have they ever done anything that is beneficial to the actual people of America? Out of this entire 3 months.
No. That's very rarely happens. I agree with that, but
okay.
I don't want to go down that road. I got you though, bro. I'm with you.
It's like I ain't trying to talk about.
No. I actually agree with you. I just didn't want to get with you though. I do think it's something. Always, I agree with you with that. Everything that glitters ain't gold. Man, like I always know if they doing something, there might be some other stuff that I don't know
Yeah,
about.
is
I got you.
but to go back
Like the
to
idea of it.
answer your question, Hefe, yes, things do appreciate in value. Everything appreciates in value eventually.
That's not true.
No. Appreciates or depreciates?
Depreciates. I'm sorry, depreciates.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
depreciates.
Yes, and that's all I'm saying. And all I'm saying is, women, again, this is my foundational belief. Women are born with their value, and their job is to maintain it. And women and men are not born with any value; they have to build it. That's just how it is. Men are not born with innate value. They got to get out here in this world and produce and become something,
I agree
which
with
makes
that.
them valuable. Women are born valuable, simply valuable, and they got to maintain it. By not giving themselves to everybody, or doing different things, or exploiting themselves, or whatever, or going on a bunch of dates for food,
I feel like
which is
though,
ridiculous.
Hefe,
No, my woman.
I feel like though, Hefe, you equate to a woman's body count to her greatness or her being a prize.
And I don't care about women. Yeah, I do. I don't know about greatness, but definitely a prize. Greatness sounds like external accomplishments.
Well,
I'm not talking about that.
well, you said body count. Well, you mentioned something of, so that's why because you've mentioned women and their.
No, I do. I don't believe a woman can be a prize that she has. In general, right? It's always an exception to everything. But in general, I don't think a woman can be the prize that she has a promiscuous past.
So
Here's the deal. So let's put it this way. Let's talk prize and value, right? You can't be a prize if what you contain has no value.
There you go.
So body counts, the higher your body count is, the lower your value goes to men, right? Because men, when we settle down, when we play, yeah, we want the higher body counts because we're being selfish at that moment.
okay.
But when we settle down, no, we want somebody with a lower body count, regardless of what we've done. It's our desire, right? And so, all of these people talking about I'm the prize, I'm the prize, I'm the prize. If you take a look at their value, if they're not at the same level, you can't say I want to be here if this is what I'm providing.
That's crazy. So
watch this. Okay, watch this. Wait. Watch this. So, so when a man asks, "What are you bringing to the table?" Do you think that's an appropriate question for him to ask?
no, but let me ask you a question. So you guys can have whatever body counts, and you still want to be considered a king, right?
Well, we don't care what we're considered.
No. Answer the question. Answer the question.
I mean, I don't know any men that go out into the world and say I should be worth this. That ain't what men do. We just go after what we want.
The question is, a man with a high body count still should be considered a king, right?
I guess I don't know. I don't look at my situation that way. I don't know. Maybe
I'm gonna hit you with a hefe. I'm gonna hit you with the hefe line. Don't weed yourself out now. You wanna respond when it's go? No, I'm just joking. I just want to put that in now.
Again, I can't answer that. I can't even generalize that. I don't really know because that's not where my thought process
I got you.
is.
Let me ask you another question. This person is a great person, and then we're gonna hop off here. This person is a great person. Like, they made some mistakes in their past, and yeah, they might have a high body count. Actually, I don't know if you saw the Netflix new series called Forever.
Man, I saw the first 2 episodes. That shit is deep.
So I'm sorry for the ones that can't keep up. Hold on, I got a question because then you know what I'm talking about because there's a sex tape involved. Okay, hold on. On the way in 7 minutes, Amazon with a new series. And I got all the deets coming up for you right here on 98.7 Kiss. So, I know some of y'all might not have seen the series for Forever, and I haven't watched the whole thing. But
take a look at it.
Yeah, I haven't watched the whole thing. So, do you remember, I don't know if you got to this part yet in Forever where she had a sex tape.
Yeah, that's the first episode.
Okay, so she had a sex tape that was leaked and went around her school. So does that decrease her value because she had a sex tape that leaked. She made a simple mistake. Should that carry on with her in her 20s, her 30s, her 40s? Should she not consider herself to be a prize because she made a mistake and at 18 or whatever she was?
So let's talk about that for a second. The
Hey, Tyler.
fact that a tape is out there lowers her value because people get exposed to an intimate level of her that no one is supposed to have but someone that is being intimate. So, to answer the question, yes, it devalues her. But the second part of that, she was taped unwillingly.
Right.
So, that is not a fair assessment. But unfortunately, the world doesn't care about that.
Exactly.
And that's what the issue is. So, does it devalue her? Yes. Is it supposed to? No.
Okay.
Because everybody is doing that. But let's also be honest. Shit, she went to the movie theater trying to suck him up too.
Yeah, she
which
did.
I knew she was going to do.
I said, no, girl, don't do it.
And so that was, it's just like, she's putting herself in that situation. She ain't seen that dude since she was in kindergarten. And now they go on the first date, the first place she goes. So she has her own
But it devalues
issues
her.
that she has to deal with.
It devalues her at this moment. But what about 10, 15, 20 years from now? That's not who she was. She's a new person.
But she has to get away from that, because you got to remember what devalues a person in that situation is the access to the memory. If she walks down the street and people see her and
but if she is she any less of a prize because of a mistake that she thought she liked a boy and he recorded her? I don't think that makes her no less of a prize. She made a simple mistake. It happens. I don't know. This is where I guess men and women are different. We're never going to come to a conclusion with who and what and why the prize, I guess we'll always have this argument, Rashad. I just don't know. I think I made my case. I tried to state my case. I feel like, people can change. And these are my final thoughts. People could change. People change. Things change. Just because somebody did something 10, 15 years from now doesn't mean that they're that same person. Doesn't make them any less valuable. I think if you change your ways, what is it? That's like, and it could be a bad example, Rashad, a felon. You know what I'm saying? Spent 20 years in jail. Comes out, he wants a new start at life. Gets a job, starts his business. Does that make him any less valuable because he served 20 years in jail? And now is a productive citizen? And Mama said it's about self-respect. All right, let's do some final thoughts because I got to close this out because we've been on here too long. We get into these good conversations and I forget about time. Rashad, you got any final thoughts?
Look, man, at the end of the day, actions have consequences on all parts. And we got to do a risk assessment. Whatever you do in the public, you got to make a risk assessment on it. And if you feel as though the risk is too high, don't do it. But if you don't consider the risk, don't get upset when something goes wrong. That's the problem. Everybody's out here not caring about the risk and then getting caught and then wanting sympathy. That doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Mama said it's about self-respect. And then Baby Barack said there's always going to be double standards. Love who you love and keep it pushing. At the end of the day, like Mama said, somebody is going to think you a prize, regardless of if these, don't think you a prize, child. And I say this, people F up. You make mistakes, I say, don't let your past determine your future. Don't let your past determine your future. Be great. All right. I think I'm done. You done, Rashad?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, y'all. What's tomorrow? Wednesday. All right. Halfway through this work week. My days are like running together. So we're halfway through the work week. We'll do it again tomorrow, 12:30 CT, 1:30 ET. All right. See y'all tomorrow. Bye, Rashad. Appreciate you. All right, Twitch. Appreciate you. See you tomorrow.